This is the God who had you in his mind before he laid the foundations of the earth. Do you not think he knows your desires better than you know them yourself? He knows what you want. He knows what you're longing for, right? But I wanted to read you a passage from Ecclesiastes that really hit me hard yesterday, which is chapter 3. There's a time for everything. For everything, there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted. And it keeps going with, there's a time for everything, or lack thereof. There's a time to kill and a time to heal. There's a time for everything under the sun. And just because that time hasn't come yet doesn't mean it's never coming. There are seasons of life, right? Okay, let's take a look at the year. There's spring, and then there's summer, and there's fall, and there's winter. When we're in summertime, you don't wish that winter would just, oh my gosh, does it exist? Like, I haven't seen it in so long. Is it even coming? You know it's going to come again. When it's the dark of night, you don't pray to God like, God, oh my gosh, I'm panicking. I don't see the sun. Where did it go? You don't like, God, show me a sign that the sun is going to come back up again. No, you trust that there's a time for day and a time for night, and that it is coming, and that God is in control, right? The sun will rise again, but you have no proof of that, right? Besides trusting that the sun has risen before and it will again. Because the night is darkest before the dawn. The night is literally the darkest before the sun rises again. There's no proof, technically, if you were to look at it from that perspective. But God knows what you want, and he knows what I want. And what season of life you're in right now, whatever season of life he's called you into, you have to obey. Because he has our best good in mind, our greatest interest in mind. And you know, if you're a parent or you have parents, right? They don't always give you what you want, even if it were to give you great pleasure, because it might not have been the best for you. You want cake for dinner every single day? Yeah, that's not happening because it's not the best for you. And out of love, they discipline you. Out of love, they make you patient. Out of love, they say no sometimes. And out of love, they say not yet. Because God knows the opportune time for things to happen in your life. I want to meet like someone, you know, like future wife or whatever. But deep down, I know I'm not ready yet. And deep down, I mean, maybe not even deep down. It doesn't take much to know that. Like, I'm just a kid, right? But there's a time for everything. And in whatever season of life you're in right now, there is a reason behind it. You are not in a filler episode. You are not in some accidental pause where God forgot about you for a little bit and he's going to come back and make cool things happen. No. There's a purpose behind your solitude and waiting. Especially if it hurts. Especially if it's lonely. Especially if you don't know when it's going to end. And you don't know when the next season will start. Because that is how God strengthens us. To lean not on our own understanding, but on every word and his promises that he makes to us. We are completely helpless, right? Completely helpless. And it doesn't take much for him to do to us for us to realize that in the first place. But we need to trust in his timing, because his timing is perfect. A man's way is hasty, but patience, slow, yet perfect, is the way of the Lord. So trust in him with all your heart. Because if you can't trust in him, how can you trust in anything else? Right? He's the one that we can trust in the most. Men will fail you. Women will fail you. Everything on this earth will fail you and disappoint you and let you down, but he will never. And yet we choose to put our trust in these things we know are fallible rather than an infallible God. Right? He will never fail you. And when he promises you something, take him at his word. And when he gives you a desire, he doesn't give it to you for no reason. When he gives you a desire, there is a purpose behind it. And God stewards our desires for us to carry out his will and to honor him through that. But like I said, there's a time for everything under the sun. Under the sun, you can't rush it. You can't rush the sun to rise again faster. Nor can you rush the night to come any faster. And worrying and being anxious and questioning whether it's going to happen isn't going to make it happen any faster. So enjoy it. Enjoy the day while it's day. Enjoy the night and get some rest while it's night. Because God is in control. And he knows what you want and how bad you want it, how bad it may hurt. He knows. Okay? He knows. So trust in him. Because he's the author of tomorrow. Right? Take him at his word. If he said it, you have to believe it. And he made a lot of promises to us that I know he's going to keep. Trust in him. He promised the sun would rise again tomorrow. And if we can trust that much that it is going to happen, that's the same faith we need in him and in the promises that he's kept to us. If this message resonated with you, share it with a friend. And if you want to hear more from a 17-year-old trying to do God's work, subscribe. It's a win-win for both of us. Get after it.